If you've ever woken up on Monday morning and wished that it were Sunday or Saturday, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Welcome to another edition of Live Trading. I'm sorry we're late, Martin. I'm sorry we're late. Mitch was still handling pre-market prep. He's restarting his computer and on his way back. And Zunaid is out today. He is a bit under the weather from calling his immediate series. So you are unfortunately stuck with me for the day. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into what's going on today. Let me go ahead and share my screen real fast. All right. So first of all, it's great to see a whole bunch of people back. Love all of the regulars in here. Becca, Born to Be Free, Eric, Jessica, Bart, Martin. Welcome, everybody. Want to talk a little bit about the overall market. Obviously, on Friday, we got absolutely destroyed. Let me go ahead and bring up a chart here of the SPY. So I want to see how things shake out today. Powell had his comments from Jackson Hole on Friday. Clearly, that's what the market was waiting for. We had elevated volumes and a pretty precipitous sell-off. The one takeaway that I will say from Powell's speech is that there wasn't really anything new in there. He did use the word pain. And I think that kind of freaked out market participants, and rightfully so. But I didn't really hear anything new or anything that wasn't really expected. So it'll be interesting to see how the market digests those comments this week. Looking at the futures here, we are lower. Futures indicated lower here. They opened lower, although we are up off the lows. So it'll be interesting to see if we get a repeat of what we saw on Thursday. Remember, we had a pop on Thursday. We had a drop right out of the open and then a pop right back, and then we sold off. Friday, getting my days mixed up. So it'll be interesting to see if we have the same type of open here today. Do we sell off right at the open? Do we continue some of that weakness? Do we then rebound? And then how do we actually finish the day? I think we could actually go in both directions today. So something to keep in mind. With this, I'm going to be keeping some of my position sizes a little bit dialed back today. I don't want to get caught on the wrong side of the trade. I want to have a feel for how the market is actually trading. So I kind of want to just get some of that information right around the open. I'm not going to go in full size. I'm not going to try to be a hero on a day like today. Merv, I know you were there, my man. Welcome. Welcome again. Easy Mike, welcome. Shannon, welcome back. Beach Bum, let's go. Booglug, let's go. Daniel Torres, let's go. All right. I do have a couple of things here from the movers tool and then also from last week that we're going to prepare and take a look at. First one here is going to be OLB. OLB is up today. This was up on Friday. This gave some great trading opportunities on Friday, and it looks like we're going to get some more trading opportunities today. I'm actually going to mark this top off here at 243. We do have a catalyst here today for OLB. The OLB Group shares are trading higher after the company announced it had entered into a collaboration for executive licensing and transaction sharing with Quentis to upgrade its bodega network and help them evolve into financial centers. So there's your catalyst. There's your PR. Seems a little bit vague to me. I'd actually like to dive into this a little bit more. However, should be all that we need here today. Good buying volume on OLB. I've already traded 11 million shares, and on average, this trades just under 1 million. So we're already doing pretty good here today. As far as some of these levels, I'd actually like to see this pull back. I don't want to see some continued strength right out of the gate. If we see that, liable to have a nastier pullback later on in the morning. So I'd actually like to see it shake out some of these pre-market buyers right here at the open. We can hold 222 or maybe even 225. That'd be pretty good and a nice cross back through 235. That's kind of what I'm hoping for in OLB. But again, I don't want to try to be a hero here too early. I want to try and make sure that I get a feel for how the stock's actually trading. Next one here is going to be BWay, and this is Brainsway. This actually looks a little bit thinner here. We have a float of under 1 million. On average, this stock trades 16K shares. We've traded 1.8 million here today. Catalyst here is a little bit interesting. Brainwave shares are trading higher if the company announced it had received FDA clearance for the company's Deep TMS H7 coil for its use in treating adults suffering from major depressive disorder and depression. So obviously anxiety, depression, and depressive disorder, these are afflictions that definitely draw attention to the market, definitely draw some of the dollar signs. Obviously, the reaction here on BWay is pretty good. We're currently hanging out at 545. I actually like to see this consolidation formation taken out before taking this to the long side. Again, really, really thin play here. Liable to be spready right at the open, liable to be wild action here today. I just don't want to get caught on the wrong side. So I'd actually like to see this move above 560. I think if we're able to move above 560 here, we might actually get some juice. And I think that 6 is probably on deck. And if we really, really want to get going, 635 would be your pre-market high, at least where it was marked off here on the chart, 644, maybe your pre-market high. So we'll see if BWay can get going as well. Next here we have Drug, and this is from last week. Drug gave us a bunch of plays, bunch of great jokes that we got to make with one another. Looks like it's setting up here on Monday. Question for me is the buying or is the hype or whatever it is that mitigated already? Is that exhausted? We'll see. Very similar to Drug, I'd actually like to see this formation taken out, right? So across through 310 would be great. If we can really get up towards 330, maybe even 350, that would be even better. Would love to see some of this actually fall. Interesting note here is that although Drugs popped, the pre-market volume is pretty muted. And in fact, even when we compare it to other pre-market sessions, it seems like it's a little on the lower side. So again, definitely want to see how this reacts when we get that opening volume when the market actually opens. Next here is going to be ASTR. This is Astra Space. This is going to be a penny stock. We are popping here pretty good right at the beginning. Oh, excuse me, right at the end of the pre-market session here. Go ahead and mark this off. You can see that right at 9, we went up to 110. We've kind of pulled back from there. I actually want to note this as well, just in case we pull back again. Pull back to that dollar level, held it pretty good, and now we're curling back up towards that 110 high. So we'll see if ASTR ends up doing anything today. Next is going to be Pinduoduo. So we had last week, we had a move with some of these China names. You can see here, pretty strong move. We had 1 day of a pullback in there. Today, of course, we have the company trading higher on better than expected Q2 revenue results. So that's giving it a lift here in the pre-market. We have a high of 67.46. Really what I'd like to see is I'd like to see this get above 65. We can get above 65 and build, even if we can consolidate a little bit there, maybe we will be in for that next leg up. Again, this stock, though, does kind of trade with the overall market. So kind of want to get a feel for what the overall market is doing before I actually take this. I think that's it here. KPRX is a penny stock, right? We're 24 cents. We've had this run before. It's already pulled back. We'll see if we do it again. BBBY, we are having some of the meme stocks having some action today. Interestingly, BBBY trading up towards the highs, 1189, really your spot. I took a look at AMC when I saw that BBBY was up today, and I noticed that AMC is down. So AMC not trading along with BBBY. It's worth noting that APE also down. So both didn't matter if you had APE or AMC. You're still kind of feeling some of that pressure here today. It will be interesting to see if these turn around or if the divergence in BBBY and AMC ends up stopping and going in the same direction. So that's pretty much all I have here for this morning. I guess we should talk a little bit about NBEV. This is another penny stock that really rocketed on Friday, pulled pretty much all the way back. I'm going to avoid this completely, but this did have some action on Friday, so maybe we see some action here again. Otherwise, I want to see how the market trades. Hopefully, I'm not here by myself the entire time. Hopefully, Mitch shows up at some point because I don't know that I'm going to be able to just talk to you the entire time. So I'd like to get a feel from the chat on what you folks are looking for. Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Lawrence. Good morning, Joe Rice. Oh, Mitch, out of left.
What?
Field. Let's go, my
Ryan,
man. How was your weekend?
I was going to keep you here, bro. Come on, man. You got this,
I know.
bro.
I know.
Have no fear. Ryan's here, right? No, definitely. The weekend was interesting. It was definitely fun. I got to go to a nice concert. Maybe had a little bit too much to drink, but hey, I haven't had that in a while. So, hey, that's the way it should be, right? I mean, I don't get to go out too often. So it was a fun time. Had fun at the Lumineers, had a little concert now. Now time to bounce back and get into the markets, right? It's been a fun
Mondays
2 months.
baby.
It's been a fun 2 months. I'm not even going to lie. I've had the best 2 months of the year in the last 2 months. So July was really good to me. August was really good to me. let's see if September is going to be good to me. We're almost there, but we got to finish off August in a good fashion here. I'm going to be watching some stocks out there to see what happens. I mean, of course, we got the Jerome Powell rug pull on Friday, and this was kind of more at the moment that market's coming back into logic now. At least that's the way I feel on the SPY. We're getting back there towards the 50%. I think that move down in Nvidia was more along what I called logic there. That first move up, giving that move up on that earnings report, that was just insane to me. It just didn't make sense. If you look at the fundamentals, it just pointed negatively towards the company, yet investors bought it up. That was a little part in my mind where I was a little confused. I was like, man, these bulls are just optimistic towards the upside, even though the earnings report pointed straight the other way. So there you see it. One day after, Nvidia just gets shellacked. And it wasn't like Nvidia came down with just the Fed news, right? It came down right at the opening. So I think that that's the important thing to note there. You saw it just get hit hard and continue the hard hit down all throughout the day. So if there's any stocks that I think will continue on the downside, it's going to be technology names. So that's why I was trading SOXS on Friday, right? We had a really good trade on this multiple times going up and down. I don't know if you guys caught that trade on Friday, but it was really well done. I got to give myself a little pat on the back because there's not many times that I can execute that well. And I really killed it on Friday.
I'll give you a pat on the back too, Mitch. I know I took the SOXL contrarian trade, which hit a buck pretty quickly, which was pretty awesome. Yeah. But SOXS was really the play. You nailed it. And did you hold that the rest of the day? Because that thing was just a stair stepper the rest of the day.
Yeah, it didn't get the rest of the day. And I talked about that also. I had a big interview coming up later in the day, so I couldn't keep watch of the position. So instead I ran to the profits. Maybe, hindsight 2020 could have held it towards the end of the day, but it all depends on what you're looking for, right? I was looking for a move back up there towards the 39.50s. Eventually, we got the profit going into that 39.80s, and then so that's not too bad. Right? I can't really be upset about that. One of the best things was that I was able to buy this on the first pop, right? So we bought it. It popped into that 38. I actually sold some there, sold out of the whole trade. And then Ryan jumped on his trade and it came down on SOXS. And then I was able to buy it on this dip, which was honestly really well done there. I got 36.29 there when the low was 36.20. So I was only 9 cents off from the down action when it reversed there and was able to ride it right back up. And so a lot of times the only way you're going to do this is also running towards the profits quickly there on that first spike actually helped me. I took some profit, and now that I had the cushion, I went and took the dip buy on that hard red candle. I actually got filled on the red candle, not the green candle. And I think that was the important thing too, going into the weakness, not into the strength. It can definitely help you. Now we need to keep watch. Does this trade continue? Do we get a hard pullback? I do think that we could get a hard pullback today and then eventually another lift up. So where am I going to? I'm going to draw my line. This is the hourly level that I'm drawing off of. And you can pull it back as far back as kind of these highs here, right? So now we're looking for pullbacks towards 41.50 and 41 to kind of hold for a continued move to the upside. SARK is another thing that you can watch also. Look at the daily chart on this now. This is really starting to line up for a nice little push back up. All the moving averages below it helping us here. And now we could get a daily pullback, but I do think this is going to make eventually a nice move. ARK is also the one to watch for growth. Will ARK continue on the downside? Remember, what led the rally back? A lot of that was software names, biotech, and diagnostics and research. Those three areas, I would look for them to really start getting hit hard and continuing to hit hard, right? And so Snow, we started seeing crack just a little bit on the kind of the last move, and it's actually relatively holding up pretty well. Now we're starting to see it crack. Let's see what happens on the next couple of moves. Unity was one that really cracked and started coming down fast. We'll see what happens on that one. Will it come back down there towards the 36 or 35 levels is something to keep on watch. We'll see what happens in oil today. Oil is definitely my top radar to kind of get these dip buys into it. I would love to see a dip towards 96.50s. 96 and 95, somewhere between there, I would start loading on a swing. But if we just kind of push up today towards 99 and 100, doesn't mean that I can't ride the wave, at least for the time being. So I will look for Gush to move above 190s today. Pullbacks on Gush is towards the 178 and 180 level. Nice little pullback into that 178 level would get us into that little gap, and then we can get the next move up. That's what I'll be looking for in some of these oil names. All right, like always, we can keep a watch on some of the cheaper ones. Like look to see if you get TEL to start coming back on up. INDO came down here with that hard pull down, right? Let's see if it starts coming back. This is definitely one of the retail traders' favorites out there. This moves fast, so just be careful with this one. But I will be watching this stock to see if it makes a push towards the 11s, and then we'll see if it can ride on up there towards the 12s. Another one that we've been focusing on is that Veryu play. Keep that one on watch. It's pulled back. Loves to pull back around this level and catch a little bit of a bid. We'll see what happens on that. I'm looking at Husa that we traded last week. Does this one get into 5 this week? And so I'm keeping my eyes on some of these names. I might take some of these cheaper oil names as they want to keep moving on up. BORR is another one that I'll be looking for above 4. And a lot of these cheaper names love to run, so keep these ones on your radar. All right, now to catch up with stocks in the chat. If you guys got any of them to take a look at before the open, throw them up in the chat. I'll definitely catch them on up. Looks like Kalu's looking at GGII. All right.
That's
looks
just
like
an OTC penny.
Oof, you are too brave, Kalu. Let me just say that. I'll keep
let's
moving.
just not even cover that.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I'll just laugh. Whenever I see something at 00, it's just a question to call on that kind of stock. BBBY will be releasing some news today. Look to see if the meme stocks can get moving up. That's what could get the rally going back today. So I think if you do get some stocks to kind of come up today, it's because you get a little bit of some relief rallying up. Will this kind of hold? I don't see it as holding, but I do think that you could get a little bit of relief bounce today. Remember, we were all red, just leak. So there's nothing wrong with a little bounce here at the open, and then followed by leak towards the end of the day. So just be careful. I don't want to see people get caught too much. All right, what else is on out there, guys? What are you guys taking a look at? We're going to keep a watch. I saw rig being mentioned in the chat. Not a bad one to keep on watch. Oil stock could really make that next step up. We're looking for a move to $4. I like the daily chart. When charts are going sideways, those give us the ability that when they break out, they like to go ahead and make that next step up. Keep these ones
Shelly?
On your radar.
Where's Shelly? Buddy is coming to say hi to Shelly this morning.
Shelly's gone, man.
That was quick. Buddy's quick. He's rubbing up the monitor and he's out. He's got something else to do.
So we'll see what else is moving out there. Seeing some people talk about BBIG, not a stock that I will be trading by any means. What else are you guys taking a look at? Come on, guys. What are you guys watching out there? It seems like you guys don't got stocks for us today. You guys lost just like us? Well, guess what? Don't worry. We won't be lost for you guys. We know exactly what we're getting into today. I'm looking at oil names. I'm looking at shorting tech, shorting anything that has made a huge run recently. Affirm is the biggest short that I missed, and I'm just kicking myself. Oh, man, $1 stopped me out of this name, and it just looks ugly. Lucid also, I'll just hold my head because when Lucid gets to 10, then everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, Lucid was a nice one, Mitch. But we'll see what happens on Lucid. It looks like it wants to continue coming down. I'm going to also call bearish tune on Tesla here. I think Tesla comes back there towards the 270s. That's where I'll be watching Tesla right now. And a lot of this is because there's a daily level. If this cracks here, you're cracking out of the daily level after the split. And you know how they like to talk about often that stocks run into splits, then come down after it. We'll take a look at that. Lucid, my favorite? Yeah, Lucid is my favorite. And I'm a little annoyed I missed it to the short side, but it's how it is sometimes, guys. So take a look at some kind of tech names out there, software names. Look how hard these have gotten hit right back down. Asana hit right back down. Hubs hit right back down. A lot of these software names getting hit. We'll see what happens if they can continue on their downtrend. You can also watch some tech names to play some of those to the downside. Let's see some of the high cap names. Which ones have made a run too far and now can come down? TSM is one that I would call for a short. I think this one can really crack down and start getting into right back into the 80s and 78. So this is one that I'll be watching for. Levels today to watch for a crack. I'm looking for a kind of green to red 84.50 move and then breaking right back down through the 83.80s. I have a feeling we're going to get a little spike.
Greg was mentioning Nerve. Nerve had a great trade on Friday. We talked about Nerve all of last week. Huge trade if you took it. The way we trade here, you should not still be in that. By the way, 15 seconds till the market opens here. Nerve need to set up again. I don't have any levels on Nerve. I mean, obviously, if it moves through 11, maybe 12's on deck, but it's going to need to really set up here for there to be a new trade on Nerve. That trade's already done.
Yeah, I'd look for a pullback maybe to 8 for a reset up, but that's pretty far from now, right? You're at 982s, so we'll see what happens. I need to get some orange juice, man. My computer was struggling with me. That's what got me slacking here today at the open. I'll keep watch on oil names throughout the open. I'm expecting a little bounce in the overall market here at the gate. It would surprise me if we just wash here at the open. That would be surprising. That's when I'd be starting to concern. I'd be like, holy crap. Watch out, guys.
OLB for higher here.
I talked about Exxon already. If you want to rewind the tape, you can catch that. I need to put some other charts up today. Try to help us out here.
OLB pulling back from that 250 spot that it hit right out of the open here. Big seller there. I'm not in this. Looks like it goes higher, but we'll see. Big pullback here in OLB. This is why we didn't take that break. Definitely wanted a pullback first in OLB.
Here comes a little bit of a push in the SPY. I have a feeling this would get us that little rally that we could see and then see the flip. So just be careful out there. I do think that we could get a little bit of a rally right out the gate. AMD showing me that right out the gates. This is the bottom right chart here. A little rally there. Nvidia rallying right out the gates there. I had a feeling that you would get this little push right out the gates and then eventually could get the rug burn. Of course, this got hit hard on the downside. So reversals here makes sense, at least in the short term kind of push. Now, will it make its gain all the way back to Friday? I highly doubt that, but let's take a look here. You're seeing Nvidia push, AMD push, so SOXL in play here for a nice little push, and then look for the reversal out there. I think it went through the first 15 minutes, so you could get a little bit of a drive here. Apple's another one. You could look for the drive and then look for the kind of washout. Apple pushed up there. Now I would look to see if it can drive.
Interesting setup here. Weber at 950. We're almost there. If you look at Weber's chart here on the 5-minute or even
you got to put yourself up, my friend.
Say again.
Just put yourself up if you want to.
Yeah, if you look at Weber right here, really, if it busts above this 950 spot, maybe we go higher. 950 down now on Weber. We'll see if we can get some push in it. It's a little bit spready. I'm not in it, but just looking for any plays here that might be a little bit easier to take. B-Way really kind of hanging out in that consolidation area we were trying to avoid.
Looking around, trying to find some stocks to play here. Kind of very muted out the gates here. You're getting those pops on up in tech, but I don't want to go too crazy on those names.
CCJ moving from last week. This is the uranium names. I'm willing to bet that quadruple U and UEC also moving. All moving to the highs here. Those charts look the same. PDD, Lisa Lee, you're on PDD. We talked about that a little bit this morning. PDD right back to those pre-market highs here at 67. Be interesting to see how this one trades today. Not in this one.
Play the other Chinese names off of sympathy if you'd like.
Aaron Bryan, good to see you again, my man. VTNR. This has actually had a really good week last week. We're pushing up to that high level here. We had highs here, 895. I think maybe this makes a run at 9 if it stays bullish this week. VTNR, really great looking chart here. Good chart on the daily too. We enter the gap if we close this candle off here at what, 918? So 9, pretty big level here on VTNR. Aaron, I also saw you had mentioned Lab D, right? So it looks like you're kind of trading the biotech weakness via the levered products here. These are the 3X levered products. First one here on Lab D, first move here anyway, is down. It means Lab U is up. Not playing any of these, but definitely watching them. Good trading vehicles here. Rosie, Zunaid is off today. He's a little bit under the weather from his big weekend. He'll be back, though. Don't worry.
I told him, man, those late night haircuts, they'll get you.
Late night haircuts. Take that. Take that.
You like that one, Ryan? Those late night haircuts, that get you.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that.
I told Zunaid that same thing, so don't worry, guys.
It's also worth noting that over the weekend, Bitcoin sold off under 20,000. Now it looks like we're testing it to the upside here. We're trying to trade back to that 20,000. I wouldn't be shocked if some of the Bitcoin names ended up getting some juice if we move through 20,000. My only question there is how likely is it that we hold that 20K level? Bitcoin been really, really volatile here.
I'm telling you, man, that Bitcoin, man, people think it's coming back quick. It's winter time season. That's where you got to hold on for your pants for a long time until it comes back.
OLB really looks like it's curling here. This is what I was trying to avoid out of the gate, but looks like it's curling back up here. Let's take a look at OLB.
Buy pushing here like we kind of was looking for. Now we need to kind of look to see what happens from here. You're starting to get a little bit of a push. You're getting towards 935. Around 945 is where I'm going to be looking to see if we get that rug pull. You can see SOXL straight up there. That was a lot of these tech names getting a little bit of a bounce right at the open. Now the question is, where do they reverse, or will they reverse on today? Will it just be kind of a buy the dip moment to get a little bit back up? Some of these losses, you're seeing Nvidia trying to make its way back. We'll see what happens. All right.
OLB trying here around that 240 area. Seems a little weak, though. Yeah, they pulled it right off that area. OLB here, if we're going to trade this the rest of the day here, it might be worth trying to buy the pulls instead of the breaks here.
Like this INDO move here. Gonna take a quick trade here in there at 1019s. 1032 is already showing on up. Through 1050, I'll take half off. Gotta hold it tight. I want to hold to 10 right now. Don't want the 10 to break here. 1093s would definitely get me out. It's a little bit more high risk name. Remember, INDO moves fast, team.
Are you long there for a break above here?
Exactly that.
That 1025 spot seems to be stopping INDO.
Yep.
Yeah, good call. Good call, Mike. Tesla looks like it is curling here. Looks like it's ready to push.
Just put out an order to sell half at 1045s. See if we can just pop through this 1037 right quick, and then I get that little pop fill. Then look for it to really kind of expand. Seeing the algo volume up at 35s here. Now let's see if they take it to the next step.
For UEC, for these uranium names, I'd really like to see them clear out the level that we put in. What was this? The 25th of August. So it's Friday. So that's Wednesday and Thursday in the pre-market. I know we popped a little bit in the pre-market and pulled back, but I'd really like to see 430 come down on UEC. And all of those uranium names make similar chart formation. So you pretty much at that level here.
Getting tested back down in INDO. Got to be careful here. There was somebody that stepped up there at 10. A lot of volume going through there at 10. Here's the test down here to 990s. I had a feeling we'd get the little fake. We have now the wick here building here. It needs a recovery immediately back towards 10. If not, I'm going to get out.
Easy Mike says we have both Tesla short and long positions on. Ryan, we have both Tesla and short Tesla Q positions on. So
Tesla, what happened to Tesla today? It's going up right now.
I'm trying to Tesla Q, the Tesla Bear ETF. So you're short the equity and you're short the Tesla Q ETF from what I get.
Arbitrage trade. Yeah, a little pairs trading. Sounds like it. I'm battling here and then Indo. I'm just trying to pay attention to this, guys. SPY is still pushing on up there. Apple's starting to turn around there, so just be careful there. Tesla looking strong though.
Yeah, Jonathan, uranium is running here. My issue here is that I'm having a tough spot to actually long these. Feels like a chase right here.
Tesla just pushed through the high there. Tesla looking strong right now at the gates there. Nvidia. Nvidia is up there to 162, trying to hold.
AVYA looking decent here too.
Drugs, someone mentioned it to me.
STBX, good call, Jay Wild. Let's take a look at STBX. Yeah,
not a bad one to keep watch there. SPY taking off there. Tesla, nice little push. Nvidia continuing to push. Apple pushing there. So not a bad day for those. Drug, it needs to get back above 340s for me to take a look at it. We'll see if it gets up there.
Weber 22 cents above that 950 break. Didn't take it here, unfortunately, but was on that.
Hey, when it does this.
Becca on CMRX. CMRX pushing up to that 250 level. Really like to see it test 250 on CMRX.
SPY still pushing there, guys. So there you guys see it. Probably the VIX coming down. QQQ's pushing also. We'll see how this can continue, but definitely getting that lift today out the gates. Kind of glad that I was looking for bounces. So it kept me from shorting a whole bunch of names out here, out the gates. And that's definitely kept me out of some kind of pain right here out the gates. That's for sure.
I do not see VTNR as being halted.
XOM blasting. Yeah, nice takeoff there on XOM. It did pull back there for a second there, but not far enough for me to get in it. Talked about a move to 99. It's making that move right now, 99.80s, trying to make the 100 run. We'll see what happens in XOM. That's why I went for the kind of cheaper name in INDO. I'm looking for the oil names to start catching on up, so you can look at maybe like TEL to maybe make a lift here now after a red to green move. We'll see what happens there. But definitely XOM, nice lift. Oxys is probably the other one that you want to keep watching on the major names. Look at that nice lift there from Oxy. Oil names are definitely some I'm watching there. Go ahead.
Weber definitely pushing higher here. Weber, that's been probably the best trade of the day so far. Didn't take it, though, myself. Good stuff if you take it 40 cents past that 950 spot.
Party isn't a watch for me until it gets to $2. Unless it does that, I'll just kind of leave it alone. BBBY, is there any movement there?
Spiking, good call, Ron. I feel it feels like a chase right here, though, for me. I'm not in
this
that one.
This is all the PDD. This is just sympathy from PDD because of the Chinese audit.
Yeah, well, the PDD had earnings.
Yeah, but the reason why those Chinese stocks are going up is not even the earnings stocks. It's just the audit news.
Yeah.
It's the audit news. So
that's a multi-day mover catalyst.
Yeah. Baba also moving off of that, and JD also moving off of that. When you got every Chinese stock up, that's when you can kind of call that, right? If it's just PDD that was up and Baba was down, then I'd be like, yeah, it's PDD's earnings. But when you got them all up and going into one direction, kind of shows us more that there's more of a macro catalyst affecting these, and it has to do with the audits and the outlook on China, right? Everyone's concerned about, war with China. This kind of puts that talk, at least they're cooperating with us, right? So in that eyes, you've seen some people taking that bullish bet today. I personally can't do it. I'm just always scared of the China rug pull, but hey, to each his own, right?
Jay Rice is saying here, delayed reaction in the uranium names after the Musk tweet. What tweet was that? I don't remember that off the top of my head. I'm sure you're right. I just want to pull that one up.
Got to be careful here. Indo testing down on me. Needed to recover here.
Weber testing 10.
A lot of volume between 993s and 10 here for Indo.
Weber through 10.
Which one was that one?
Weber, W-E-B-R.
Got you. Weber Grills. That one has, I think, high short interest, but I would have to take a look at it.
There was call activity in Weber last week. We talked about it a little bit. I think I scalped it one of the days, scalped the equity, but this move here, big, huge volume stick here on this move in Weber.
Could add here in Indo, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep to the same risk and return that I've taken from the beginning on this trade and just be smart.
Jay saying that Musk said the world needs more oil and gas. Okay. So I didn't see that tweet, but I know exactly what you mean, and he's right. So CMRX more. I am Wissing and Becca both on CMRX. High at 250 there. That's what I'd really like to see taken out.
All right, there you guys see we're starting to get a little bit of reversal action from Tesla. I would start paying attention because you're getting to that 9:45 time where you could get those bull traps to start coming to a close. I think what you're looking at is, do you take that next leg? So a lot of these patterns are going to be in a bullish pattern. Look to see if you can get continuation from here or a reversal sign. That's what you're looking out for. So Apple, I wouldn't want to see a close below 162. Close below 162 gets it to the VWAP test, which could bring it right back to 161. Nvidia is another one that's going to give us a good sign. It's just hitting the VWAP now. What happens to it? Does it do the VWAP bounce and get through the highs, or does it reject the VWAP bounce and then start cutting back down to 161?
All the uranium's going here.
Uranium. That's
even DNN going too. Let's take a look at DNN. DNN right at the highs here. DNN pretty decent daily formation if we can get above 150 on DNN.
A lot of those uranium names moving. What's that other one that I wanted to keep an eye on? Oh, the XME. XME, interesting for a longer term play.
AVYA, this is interesting too. If we can really get to 154, that would get really interesting on AVYA, 155.
Tesla starting to turn there. Let's put the overall market here. Oh, overall market's in the middle here. Keep an eye on the SPY to see if we can get that next leg up or not.
PDD day highs here through 68. KWeb moving to highs too. That makes sense with that move in the China names.
PDD straight up so far. Be careful though. But it is just trending on up on the 3. I like that. Higher lows, higher lows. See if that trend changes here. Uroy 2. All right.
Let's check in our meme names. BBBY. That pulled here. That pulled down to that 11 handle. AMC trying to pop, but really struggling to do so. Let's check it on Ape. Yeah, Ape doing the same thing. OLB, we talked about that spot not wanting to play it right out of the open here. Just nothing but a pullback since then. This is exactly what we were trying to avoid. Not to say that this couldn't set up later today or maybe even tomorrow. GSAT at highs. Didn't they have a story with Apple?
GSAT.
Apple and Globestar rumored to announce satellite connectivity feature for iPhone 14 at the September 7 event. That was from Friday.
There it is, guys. I'm starting to see the SPY pullback now. Now you get your question, is is the look of the bull trap there? And will you just start seeing flush down here in the overall market, the Qs? You can look at Apple, Nvidia, those types of stocks are going to tell us here. Look how Tesla has also shown that topping action. You could start seeing that let up now. So now it's the question between the 10 o'clock. Do we get a shift in the pricing? Will we trend in an area today? I think this 10 o'clock tells us. We'll see what happens. So we got about 10 minutes for that. Off-grid trading is trading live today. Check out.
Okay. UEC just took out the huge offer at 445, 448. Ask now. I'm not in this. It was a little too quick for me. I brought it up a little late, so I didn't take this one myself. Only 3 cents through that spot here. We'll see if it gets going a little bit more.
Brokerage owner. That's a little dangerous.
What?
No, I'm just saying there's some somebody trading, whoever there was a former brokerage owner. You know, yeah. We'll see what happens. All right, SPY trying to push back. Let's see what happens here. Trying to see if we're going to get a tech kind of day rallying. Just trying. All right, what are you guys looking at out there?
I'm looking at CABA here. This might be a move through 210 here on Kaba. CABA. It's really kind of wicked up to this 210 level past several days. Pretty good volume here this morning. We'll see if that 210 can get taken out. All these biotech names. Nicole's looking at Party. Can you chart Party real quick, Mitch?
Yeah, just be careful there on Party, but I'm looking at it and I talked about a move over $2 is the important part on that because the daily outlook comes back into play. We're right at support. So this is the bottom right chart that you're seeing here. So it doesn't look too bad, right? Because you're right at support, but you needed to get, I think, through this first high on Friday, which is $2. Once you get through that $2, then we can start looking at it to really get the momentum back. But right now, you can even see it on the MACD, the convergence here. How it's coming back to the trigger line. You need to see it expand back from the trigger line, not cross back down. That will show you that the momentum is getting out of it. And the MACD is one of the best indicators to use only when you have momentum. When the stock is breaking out and you're looking for the lines to expand away from and not contract to. Contraction means consolidation. Expansion means volatility, which if you're getting a momentum move, a trend move, that's what you're looking for. So to continue that push. And that's Party.
CMRX still doing pretty good. Weber looks like it's retesting 10. Interested in the CMRX. If it can really push up to that 250 and take it out, there might be some more fireworks here. Not in CMRX, by the way.
Gotcha, Nicole. Anytime. AMC
Born,
trying to get above.
All Berlin, right. Are you still there? Let me know if Berlin is still there. Yeah, thanks for the DD on that guy, Aaron. I timed him out. Advertising for somebody else in our stream ain't gonna fly. All
right. I'm trying to go get my orange juice, but Indo won't let me. Honestly, come on, Indo. Let's go. Get on up. Give me that first profit so I can earn my orange juice today. Tesla coming down fast, guys. I will tell you guys that. That gives me a little bit more of a sign that we're getting that topping action. PDD topped out. Apple trying to hold VWAP here. We'll see what happens if it can take that next leg up. Nvidia right back down, right at the VWAP there. Has a couple of wicks at the top showing me that there's some selling pressure above it. A real push through 163 can get you that continued push in tech. We'll see what happens. I'm also starting to look at
CMRX. Sorry to call it, Mitch, but CMRX right through that 250 spot. I hit that. It was so fast, though. I only got it for 7 cents, but right through 250, just like we talked about, pushing up here. Looks like there's a little bit more size at 260. See if they take that here. They're hitting it. Looks real. They're hitting up, pulling it back off that 260 spot. CMRX definitely in play. We'll see if this sets up again. Right back to 260 and through. So here we go on CMRX. So I'm already out of this one, folks. Scalped it right through 250 like we had talked about. Becca, shout out to you. Nice spot there on that one. I'll still take that drink that you offered, but I owe you for that one.
All right. Apple trying to come back. It went right to the trend line and stopped. We'll take a look to see if that can come down and break through the support, or does it go up to 163? That will give you that pushback. We'll see what happens here. It's the battle. The battle's on out there between the Bulls and the Bears right now. We'll see who wins.
You know, for all of the bad trading that we had on Friday, Mitch, and then the gap down and the futures opening up lower later that night, the market has actually held in pretty well here. I know we're not green and we're not running to the upside, but you're right. There's a battle and it's going on right at this level here. And it doesn't look like at least not yet. It doesn't feel like it's panicky yet. So I suppose that's positive.
Yeah, you had the 50% retracement move where a lot of traders were going to be watching on the SPY. So 50% retracement of the recent rally is right around the SPY levels of 398. So people were watching that and thinking a little bit of the buy the dip moment was going to come in here. And I feel like this is what we're getting. So it's a good thing, at least for the buy the dippers, to see this kind of bounce up. But the question is, will this kind of hold? That's the battle that you got to
exactly. Is this going to be a multi-day thing, or is this just going to be very short-lived, trap a bunch of people? Real quick, I want to address Dev here. Dev is saying, how do you like AVYA? Dev, a couple of things here. So first of all, let me pull up my chart.
Got you all day.
So first of all, I don't have any type of long-term view on this. This is not a stock that I'm taking home with me at night. If I trade this during the day, I'm flat at the end of the day. If that changes, I'll let you know. But as of right now, that's where I'm at. As far as day trading goes, this has given us multiple opportunities recently. And if we take a look at the daily chart here, you can see that when it really kind of pushed off that 66 level through that $1 level, we got multiple trades on AVY. We even traded it last week here. The interesting part here is that we are in this gap, and this gap fills at what, $2? Let's call it 202, but let's just call it $2 actually. Now, we had a high here of 165. So to me, this spot is probably going to be in play again. I'm not necessarily trying to trade the run up here, and I'm not trying to swing this over multiple days, but it is looking strong. And if we get some good volume expansion and we take it up to that 165 level, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a trade here on this gap fill. So hopefully that answers your question. This is not something that I'm swinging, but this is something that we've traded here as a community a number of times, especially recently. Looks like Mitch is going to grab his orange juice. Orange juice for Mitch, I've noticed, has become a performance enhancing substance. So I'm hoping Mitch comes back spitting that hot fire. We shall see. Good luck, Kalu, trading the OTC names. We're going to try and stay away from those OTC trip zero names here. Those things can be a lot of danger, but if you're making money on it, I'm not here to criticize. Tesla, we were talking about that breakout level right at 288. Let me bring Tesla up here. We talked about that briefly here, right at 288. Really kind of pulled back off that spot. Let me go to the really kind of just pulled back. It didn't quite get to 288. Really kind of pulled back here, settling right down at balance. So we'll see if Tesla can get gearing here. This is one of the reasons why I don't trade Tesla. It's just I never seem to get it right. I always seem to be on the wrong side of the move. I would have thought we'd gone higher if we'd taken out that 288. Nerve looks like this is trying to curl back up. Nerve spot here for today is going to be 1078, maybe 1075, depending on where those offers line up. But Nerve curling here. We'll see if we can get a little bit higher. Still waiting on CABA. Brought in an offer there at 208. This breaks down back towards 2. Probably just forget about it. But setup here seems to be 208, 210. They take that level out. I think we go higher here on CABA. CABA. Daniel Torres is saying AMC is ripping. All right, so it is starting to rip here. We're right back. It was 6 cents above red green here, so we did get a nice little red green move. Looks like you got a pop off that red green. So I didn't trade this. Don't really like AMC here. We'll see if that can end up turning around. I mean, I would say that if this market does reverse and hang in there, we probably could see AMC trade back up. Let's take a look at APE. APE struggling to really get going, still lower, not only from its close, but also from its pre-market level that it dug out there. INDO up 5%. I would imagine, I can't remember exactly if Mitch is out of this yet. I would imagine he is. If he went to go get his orange juice, he's probably not going to leave a trade on while he's not at his computer. INDO still consolidating here. Looks like it's still trying, in honor of Zunaid, it's trying to figure out what it's going to do with its life. 1050 here looks to be the spot on INDO. AVCTs, this is penny play near highs. I'm going to pass on that. PDD, more highs here. Lisa Lee, are you still trading PDD? That was a great trade here this morning you had on PDD. BBBY struggling to regain 11 here, struggling to regain and hold it. Looking around here, folks. Maybe nerve.
When your stop doesn't hit and you're able to fill in some orange juice. Let's go.
Oh, you are still in it. Okay.
Yeah.
You made me look like a liar there. That's cool.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, bro.
No, it's fine. I'm joking around.
Yeah, Mitch is juicing, literally. I was juicing, guys. I put a stop there. I put a 970 stop, and I was just like, all right, well, it has to at least let me go get my orange juice. Let me see what I can do here.
I was saying while you were gone, I was like, I don't know if Mitch would leave a trade on while he goes to get his juice. And then you came back and had a story about leaving the trade on. And I was like, oh, that's fun.
Stop though, Ryan. Always. I put a stop. Normally I don't use that. I wouldn't put it up there. But in this case,
Nerve, sorry, Mitch. Nerve pull. We were just talking about Nerve right before you got back. Nerve pulling back to the VWAP here. 1017 is the VWAP reading I have. We're right at it here. It'll be interesting to see if it holds. Not in Nerve, by the way. Not today.
Bottom right here on Nerve. PDD did take that next step up, so Chinese stocks getting that step up. But Apple with the fake out there on the 5 minutes, so I could see the SPY and the Qs start to leak. Be careful out there. It's kind of playing into tune what we talked about this morning, or at least what I was looking at, which was a pop in some of these tech names. A lot of the weak names, they got destroyed, but then eventually leaking out. That's what we're looking for now. Do we get another ramp up? That's what I'd keep watch out. Here's 1019s here on INDO. Can we get above the 1020s and really rip?
Nerve trying to bounce off this VWAP here. Again, I'm still not in it, but I definitely want to watch this. This one kind of all over the place.
IMPP. Yeah.
AHI I'm seeing. AHI I'm seeing here. It's going to get halted here at 114, it looks like. If it holds, there it is. AHI halted. So what's going on with this one? Advanced Human Imaging. Big spike here, 80 cents to 114.
Got that in the bottom left here for you guys. HUSA also looking really good here off 5. So I'm in INDO, so I don't want to double play oil and gas, very similar plays, which would be that HUSA play, but that one looks good too. Here we go on INDO, up towards the 1024s again. Now we need to take out that 1030s. Can we take out the 1030s? That's what I'm looking for in INDO. SPY starting to get weak there. Nvidia starting to break down there. That's kind of what I was looking for, guys. So I would look at SOXS now. So you see how SOXS is coming back up through the VWAP. That'd be a play that I would look at. Let's actually look at that as INDO is getting better for me, at least to the 1027. So I could take a second here to take a look to see if I can catch the SOXS pullback here. I'm looking for a pullback towards 4290s here on SOXS.
OLB is trying to curl here. Really needs 220, I think, to start this curl. Dylan, we'll see if it ends up getting it.
It's a good level for pullback. Look on the pullback there to 42s, 42.50s. It's a nice level there on SOXS for the reversal. Look for a pullback buy there on SOXS. Was not able to get it there on the pullback of the VWAP. VWAP went to 43.10s and it held there. Now it's starting to come back up. No fill yet. And it canceled down those orders that I had. I put it at 42.90s, 42.88s. Was trying to fill on the pullback. It's already back towards 43.30s. Looks like we're going to get a little bit of a push here. Let's see if we get that push. Then we'll look for another pullback after 43.50s. That AHI, we'll see when that opens on up. How many minutes has it been shut down there? About 3. You got about 2 minutes left for that AHI. Nerve hanging out right above the VWAP. SPY right about the middle there. Let's take a quick look at the analysis out there of the sectors. And you're seeing energy up 1.69. So definitely that's where you want to be probably looking at. Some cheaper names making moves. GBR making a nice move up today. But definitely take a look at the high cap names. XOM 3% up there, guys. Look at that Exxon Mobil. I hope somebody grabbed that 95 price point that I was talking about last week, and you were able to really nail it through that 95 because we've made a quick move to 100.
Oil at highs here too, so that XOM, nice.
Yeah, and then the best one also, I think, was a setup on ConocoPhillips when we were looking for that 100 push on ConocoPhillips. You could have already gotten a 10% move there on Conoco. So, in ConocoPhillips, we'll see what happens there.
Ronald asking about Shop. Ronald, Shop at pretty decent support here, but it's looking pretty weak. I would say a break below 30 is a stop here if you're going to take a long side trade here. I'll be honest, I'm not thrilled with any of these growth names in the environment that we're in. Shopify's price makes sense down here. Didn't really make sense when it was up around 160 or so. I don't know how much higher this is going to go. Does look like a pretty decent support level against to trade that against 30 from my eye.
All right, that AHI should be opening up in the next minute or so. So keep your eyes on that one. It's getting close to that opening up again.
Yep.
Put it right here in the middle for you. Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Boom. It's right here in the middle here for you guys. If you guys are looking at that one, then NERV on the bottom right. You got HUSA on the top left here. I want to take a look at the Qs here on the top right. Qs are trying to find a bounty here. We'll see what happens. SOXS still didn't hold there, but it did hold a third VWAP hold there. So it should hold VWAP now. Click below would get a test on those bulls that are looking for the SOXS to come up here.
AMC at highs here, 940 on AMC.
There's HUSA trying to get a move back towards the 520s. $5 was the level I looked at this morning. There, that's
AHI open 120 now, higher. AHI.
All right, I'm starting to like this INDO a little bit more. I want to take a little bit more. I want to take a little bit. Has to be closer towards the 10 here. So I'm looking for a slight dip here in INDO to add a little bit.
Looking around here, folks.
Like to set up an INDO. Now it just needs to take it. Let's go. There's some buying there at 1014s and 1019s. So definitely positioning in all around the 10 and 1010. So it looks like the VWAP is definitely being held here. Now we just need to really take it for the next ride. I have an order to add, but probably not going to get that order filled. I'm canceling on it now. It's already starting to push. So let's let it try to get that push through the 1030s. That's the level that it keeps fighting. There's either a seller there hiding out and just keeps hitting it, or we're just fighting to get through it. And if we can get through it, we should get that extension up.
Nerve higher, nerve through 11 here. Wow.
Ooh, that nerve.
Took it
That
off.
was on the bottom right here.
Yep. See how it blasted through the top of that wick there? That's the trade.
Another thing that you can see there on that nerve is higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and then it pulls back, holds the VWAP for a second, then really takes off. Rule of three playing well there.
Dan's on nerve here.
Who's making a nice step up there. I talked about this chart before the open here. We were looking for another push from 5. Look at that push up to 5. 520s recovers that 5. Now back up there to 517, 518. Keep that one on your radar. Tells another one that I kind of keep on watch to see if that can take the next step up. We'll see what happens here. AHI trying to take that next step up there now. Q's and SPY just now in chop, a little bit of sideways chop zone here. We'll see what happens. Do we take the next leg up there? Probably get a little bit of a fake out here coming in. We'll see what happens. Battles is on, man. That's for sure.
AHI halted again. 137 this time.
It's a quick mover there.
Yeah, it's little too risky for me today.
Nvidia trying to catch the bounce there. I'm still in from this first trade, guys. I've just been hanging out here in INDO. And it might give me a loss, but one of the things is I try to just stick to the trade as far as I can hold it, and as long as everything just seems to line up there. Oil having a good day today, so I'm looking for this to catch up. But now there's been a couple highs here that I got to be careful about. A couple highs all in the 1024 range, 1025 range. So if we can't get through that on the next time it breaks above the VWAP, probably might be my chance to go ahead and just take what I can get. Q's SPY trying to push back there. That's going to get a little bit of a bounce in some of these tech names. Just be careful out there. SOXS, did we get back down to the 90s? Still not back down into the 90s. Just hanging out at the 43s.
Yeah, the market is just kind of hanging around this level. It got no clear direction as of yet. I was watching that too.
Lisa talking about Chevron.
Chevron was at highs along with the oil trade here.
Yeah, man, that was the trade right there. The oil trade has been such a nice trade if you're able to catch that. There's the SPY trying to push there, so you're going to see some of these stocks starting to come make a way back. We'll see what happens. Nerve trying to hold the high here. It looks like it's trying to keep going.
Gene, good question here. When you guys say too risky today, does that infer technicals are not showing clear direction? So I'm not going to speak for Mitch because Mitch is out here trading his own plan, but I will speak for myself. Given what we saw in the last session on Friday with the precipitous drop, the clear event that's out of the way, which was Powell's speech at Jackson Hole, I kind of want to get a feel for what the market's going to do. So to me, it seems risky to take something early when there is no clear direction. One of the things you'll hear me say about some of these smaller stocks is that when the market opens lower or trades lower, it's easier to find relative strength. And that's kind of the play that I'm looking for now. The other part about things being pretty risky is I've reduced my size here for the day because I just don't want to get trapped. Take a look at Kaba, which is a perfect example. It looked like 208, 210 was the break, and it just immediately pulled back here. So just trying to be careful, trying to make sure that I don't over leverage myself in any position. If I felt good about a market direction here, maybe that would change, but I don't feel that just yet. It's a really good question though. Mitch, maybe you approached today a little bit differently than I did, but that's pretty much my thoughts on how I was going to handle the action.
Yeah, I just been looking to see what would happen in two areas. I was looking at oils to see what happened there, and we got a move up in oil. And I was looking to see if we got the tech bounce. I think we've gotten the bounce. Now the question is, do we get the flush right back down in tech? I think that's what you're watching for. And that's going to determine the overall market today. That's why I was looking also at Tesla. Tesla was actually going up here from the open. now battling. Nvidia also down towards the low. That shows me a little bit more concern that you could get the drag in the Qs. Look how Nvidia is just hanging out there at the bottom there. That's a weakness in tech there. And this is one of the ones that could really drive us down. What are the leaders, right? And so I always look at leadership in tech. Look at the Qs today. You're starting to see a drag now. AMD was one of the strongest ones also out the gate. And look how that's starting to leak down. That shows me more and more that we could get this leak down now in the Qs. That's why I was looking at SOXS also for a trade there. And so we did get a pullback there to the 42.93s in the last couple of minutes. So kind of annoyed that I didn't get that 90 entry. I had an order out at 42.92. So it looks like on this last pullback, it would have got filled. But just keeping an eye out also on the other stocks too. But this one looks good now. SOXS for a nice little push on up. And I would look for SOXL to kind of break down.
Jeff Ross is asking, jump on Nerve. Jeff, well, we cannot tell you when to buy or sell any particular security.
Yeah, you guys make that call.
Well, we will say here about Nerve. Nerve really pulled back from its high there, 11.70, 11.80-ish, pulled back down here to 11. VWAP's still at 10.60. So I think if they yank Nerve, and remember, we talked about this one being kind of a wild trader here, being pretty back and forth. Might be some more space to rip this down. However, maybe it does bounce off that round number here at 11. I'm not in there.
1133 is a good resistance to get above and hold. So if you can get above that and actually start closing up there, you could get room to run, but we'll see what happens there in Nerve. Do you got the Nerve? We'll see. AHI opening up there and coming right back down. So just be careful on that one. SPY trying to take out the highs.
Surprised to see that.
Apple's starting to push back. That could give you the sign that you're starting to get that bounce back in the SPY. There you see it. Nice little push there in the Apple trying to get back up towards the 163 level. We'll see if it gets up there. Also, oil starting to pull back a little bit. You could get the pullback here in oil.
Be right back. That coffee is doing a number on me today.
All right, we'll see what else is going on out there. TEL news offering. No, I just was looking at TEL to see if it get the lift, but I'll take a look to see if there's any news on it. SPY ripping. Be careful there, guys. It's going to see maybe a little bit of a turnaround there. It's a battle out there today, man. Battle. And I'm being quiet with my trades. I'm not taking much right now. I think this is actually helping me out. I'm trying to get through the chop zone before I make a lot of trades and just be smart. You know, it's just difficult, especially when you're seeing a lot of these kind of trades going back and forth, kind of the chop that we've had in this market. It's difficult. Would it be smart for me to follow along trading with you guys or just try to learn for a little while? That's what you're here for, trying to learn for a little while and learn from process. It's not for you guys to follow exactly how we trade, but look at the process approach that we try to take. Hear about strategy, hear about how we look at the markets overall. Those are the things that you can really start learning from that you can apply to your own trading. And that's really what we're here for. Nerve now trying to take that step up through the 1133s, and it just stops right there. It pulls right back down from that 1125, 1135. It tried to get through the 33s. Let's see if it gets through it on the next push.
Nerve really back and forth here. Market trying to bounce, trying to curl here and bounce. We'll see if we end up getting that.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad there on the SPY. The SPY is pushing a little bit back there.
So it is a bank holiday in the UK. I'm not sure how that affects trading, but it is a bank holiday in the UK. Ryan Milligan in the UK.
I should have taken the day off. You know I'm from across the pond. Nah, I'm just joking. I wish. We'll see what happens out there. We get a day off next week, right?
Yep, Labor Day next week.
Boom.
And then administrative note, since we're talking about it, Labor Day next week, so no show. And then the following Monday is the Monday after the NFL season opens. I have taken that day off, Mitch, so I will not be available on Monday.
So which day do I put in already?
What?
I'm about to join you on that day, Ryan.
That would be September 12th.
Oh, getting hit here in INDO. Be careful, guys. That's going down really fast there, guys. I just got hit there. Now I just got to be smart here on this flush down. Make sure that it holds. Try to get out with the most I can. You did get it flushed down there. There was a big seller there that showed up 12,000 shares. He just hit there and it knocked it right back down there. Looking to see if we can recover the 980s here. Kind of glad I didn't get my ad. I was so close to adding there. It's recovering there. It could have been a buy, but there was a big order there that went through there and knocked the tape down a little bit. It's recovering. Just got to keep a really close eye on Indo now because it could just wash.
TAL, ticker TAL, butting up
bidder
against 666. Do what you will with that. Maybe might break here and pop higher. We'll see though. 666 will scare some people away.
Someone just did that spoofing order type on EdgeX there. It was like 100 something on the bid there for Indo. This is one of those stocks that just, you can see it. People try to play with it on the tape. Those are the dangerous stocks, guys. I'm definitely trading more of a dangerous stock today. You see it right there, the ARCA 132. There's a little spoof. Well, I call them spoofs because you're not seeing them get filled. They're just kind of playing with the ticker there.
Ron saying, take a look at TH. Big move here off that 1370 level here. Pretty normal volume, though. Nothing that would have really enticed me to get into this on TH. Target Hospitality.
Target Hospitality.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
This has been the battle of all battles today in Indo. Oh, man. I'm definitely kind of more in the left to the realms of what this stock's going to do now.
GameStop up 5.5% today. How's AMC doing? We had a number of traded AMC highs. So those of you that took AMC out of the gate here today, you're up 40 cents.
Go look for the BBBY move. That's the one to kind of keep an eye out. There's supposed to be some news that they're going to be releasing later on the day. So keep your eyes on that one. It is coming back above VWAP. About the party. It's trying. SPY trying to keep pushing there, guys. Now the SPY is looking like we are going to get that bounce there. So look for the tech names. Let's see if we actually really get a push on up. I'm not going to play that push, but it's to each his own. But we are seeing the SPY push on up there. Qs will probably take the high also. We'll see what happens there. Chevron finding the bounce there. So you could probably see oil take another step up. We'll see.
AVYA definitely holding up here. Really needs to take out 145, I feel like, on AVYA.
TEL is issuing debt per the news. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate you catching that. I didn't get even a chance to check on TEL if there was news. The battle is on out here.
CMRX back to that 250 spot. AERC holding this consolidation area between 320 and 330. AREC. Nerve trying to curl again.
It's just been a battle for me here in Indo, and I'm looking at the 15 minutes and definitely need to be careful with a name like this, but doesn't look too bad here. Look for it to start really holding here.
CMRX bounced off the VWAP spot there.
Now we're getting a stronger recovery here.
Drug moving up. Drug maybe through 3 here.
Drug.
It was good to us last week, Mitch. 301 your VWAP, so maybe 301 on drug.
I don't know why. I just laugh. I can't handle that stock.
Bright minds, baby. Bright minds.
Bright minds.
Just trying to have some fun with it, Mitch. That's all. Let's try to have some fun.
That's it. Can't blame you. A little part of me is like, man, should have maybe looked at Gush today. Gush was a nice move. Oh, that one did it to the key there. That one looked nice. Nice red to green move there on Gush today. 182 move up there back towards 193. Really nice play if you were able to catch that. Nerve trying to hold here around the 9 EMA. Doesn't look too bad if it can hold 11s. Nvidia trying to come back on up. Drug too. I see you. I see you, Drug. SPY just getting kind of sideways now at the top there. Little weakness.
CMRX trying to curl here off this VWAP bounce. 263 is where it stopped before. So we'll see if CMRX can get going here. Seems to be a refresh seller at 253 on CMRX.
All right, what's up out there, guys? I'm still in this one play, and I'm kind of annoyed for you guys. I should be doing probably a little bit more playing than just getting stuck in one name for you guys. But
sometimes that's how it is. We play the hand that we're dealt, Mitch. We can't force it.
Yeah, that's what I would say on that. And a little part of me is like, maybe I should have just cut this and got into a different play. But I just still see it as value right here, and so I'm staying in it. But like always, guys, make your own decisions. Nerve right back up.
Yep.
Held that 11 pullback and through the 1133s. So now look for that to hold on the pullbacks. So I would look at 1 minute and I'd look for it to hold 1133 on pullback. And went to 1130, push right back up. See if it takes that next leg, which is the 1175.
Nerve pulling.
Nerve. Don't have the nerve. All right, we need a little bit of music. Did all you can eat ribs at Montana? All you can eat ribs. That sounds like danger.
That sounds like delicious.
I'll eat a lot of ribs if it's all you can eat. There's some people that struggle with a full rack. I'm like, yo, bring on the second. I'm bored, but it is what it is. Should have jumped on that oil train this morning. Yep, rolling. Hey, it happens. You know,
Nerve going for highs here. Nerve going for highs here. 1178 is your high. There we go on Nerve.
Go home. It's a battle. Battle there.
I got 84 as the next high here on Nerve.
Either there's a huge positioning in here in INDO, or they're just trying to get out. But there's a 13,000 order that went there at 990.
There goes Nerve. Right through that. Take it here if you took that trade on Nerve. We just talked about that. All right. So even on a day where it's tough.
Money.
Nerve real tough here. This is a tough trader, but glad we're able to get that.
I mean, you got that sideways hourly consolidation near the high. That's a good level to look for, guys. One thing that I always say is that when you get these breakouts, you don't want the stock going up and down just as fast. You want the stock going up, then a little bit of sideways action. That shows you that those sellers aren't going in. The buyers are just taking a pause. That's what that shows me there. This sideways action here between Nerve, that shows me that the sellers didn't come in. Just the buyers took a pause. And so you're looking for the buyers to step back up. So always look for a level to kind of get broken through. And especially when you have levels that coexist with other levels. And here was that 1133s. And you can see you tried to get up there. 1136, 1135, right here, 1135. So the levels just start standing out to you. Now you're looking for that push back above and then a pullback to hold. That's
And
exactly what you got.
You see that top of that red candle, Mitch? You almost have it marked with your line there.
Yeah.
What's the exact top of that candle? It lines up
35.
with the other one.
It's 35, and then right here it lines up with 30 on this one, and then it also lines up with this one 35, and this one's a 36. So in the 30s, there's a battle between the bulls and the bear. That's why when you get that flip back, it pulls right back to that area and then catches the bid. That's what you're looking for. It's never going to be exact like to like the 1 penny. Sometimes you'll see that 1 penny get a little bit moved. But what you're looking for is certain areas to catch defined resistance and support.
We also got a question about, can you explain how to use VWAP in trading? Let me shout out the name of the person that asked that in case they're just in listening mode. It was Leslie C asking, can you explain how to use the VWAP in trading? Well, just looking at Nerve here, VWAP is going to be, do you have it on that chart? It's not that
it's this yellow one.
Okay, so you can see there that one of the things
even come back on this one.
One of the things that Nerve has done here is it's actually kind of stayed above that VWAP. Now, Mitch has a slightly different VWAP reading than I do. My VWAP,
if you want, you can bring yours up.
Yeah, well, let me. I don't have it on this chart here. Hang on.
Okay, yeah, you can just add it right quick. That's the fun part.
Yeah, so you can see here, this is exactly what I was talking about. Nerve is riding this VWAP. It's really kind of staying above it. Now, VWAP is volume weighted average price. So it takes into account not only the price, but also the volume that's being traded and tries to discern its average that way. You can see here that when this is pulling back, it doesn't necessarily just stop on the VWAP line. Like here, we actually kind of broke beneath it, but we immediately pulled back and we kind of battled along that VWAP line. Then the stock started to push off. Came back and retested it a few times, but then it really pushed off. Now we're pushing off even more. So it's a little bit more difficult to trade now because we're so far away from that VWAP support that it has been using for a majority of the morning. This move right here, this was the trade, right? This one actually is the first move here. The second trade that we have is up here through 1135, 1140 area. But this first move here, look what happened. Took out the tops of these candles here and really just kind of pushed. This is your trade here. We tried to come back to the VWAP. We didn't quite touch it, but then we started to push away from the VWAP. This indicates strength. There's your 1135 break. That's the anatomy of that trade. So VWAP, you can use it as support or resistance for intraday. It's not always to the penny, and it's not a rule that's set in stone, but it can be a very, very useful indicator. We use VWAP here every day.
Add here on INDO. Adding on INDO now. Taking a little bit more swing. A little bit more swing here.
Gray highs.
Yep, let's see what happens out there now. I'm taking my step up in INDO. Let's see what happens out there. Drug looks like it's about to crack, so just be careful there. If you're looking at that name. Nerve, how's that one still doing? Ooh, 12.18s, 12.15s. Big day there for Nerve. Nvidia right back down there, guys. Looks like we got that rejection. So I would start looking for the SPY to kind of start coming back down. Also the Qs to start coming back down. Nvidia is giving me the lead there, at least for me. I'm going to be watching AMD also to break through the lows, and then look for Tesla. Let's see if that gets weak below 284s. Move above 287 is a bullish move. We'll see what happens. Here's INDO starting to move a little bit more for me. Now it really needs to just take off here. I want it to really start holding VWAP. No more of this testing down anymore and filling in volume. Want to really take off. That's why I added a little bit of shares, just because we kept coming into this area and adding. There's so much volume that's being filled here that I'm looking for a big step up move. We'll see if we can get it.
Greg, nice job on Nerve, made 165. Hopefully the process and the discussion that we had on Nerve contributed to that successful trade. Good stuff, man. Thank yourself. You are the one clicking the buttons.
SOXS, right back through the VWAP. That was a nice one off of that pullback that you guys have. So now we can look at that. We can look at SARK also. It's just coming back through the VWAP. ARKK was strong. Now it's starting to crack. I would take a look at SARK here for a little bit of a trade reversal style. So let me go ahead and actually take a look at that trade here. All right, so we'd have to go off the 56 level now and just got above the 56. So I'd look for pullbacks toward 56 on SARK. Tesla heading right back down there. That shows me a little bit of weakness there. Could look for that to kind of really start coming into play. Nvidia, look to see it take out the lows there. You guys see it. Now it's starting to really leak out there. Watch how the Qs are lagging. Look how the Qs are lagging here. Look how the Qs were actually above the VWAP, and now you're starting to see the Qs come down. This is why I like to pay attention to more of the focus names, like what is moving the stocks, right? So to me, it was a move that got all these stocks up was that Nvidia move up. What knocked down the stocks also? That hard action on Friday down on Nvidia. So I was looking for an Nvidia on the bounce here to the open, but look how we washed out that VWAP bounce rejection. Boom, right back down there. Now we can start taking a look for the Qs to catch up and also take out the lows.
And if you take a look at this, this is also one of the reasons why I discussed my risk profile this morning, why I was reducing size. We got a question about, trading if the market gives you a specific direction. We're not really given any direction, right? We opened lower, we kind of hung around there, we tried to kind of curl back up. Now we're being slammed back down to the lows here. This is the type of chop that I wanted to avoid. If you can trade it and make money on it, that's great. But I wanted to avoid this because I didn't really have a feeling on where we were going to go here. Nerve new highs, by the way. Nerve just been incredible past several days.
Nerve. The question is, did you have the nerve?
I did. I scalped this earlier, but I'm not in the move up here into the 12s, which is okay.
I like that. I like that, right? Like you say, I have the nerve. I have the nerve. All right, guys, it's getting towards 10:35. We're going to take you over to 11. And then I think today we will not have futures trading for you guys, but I do need to just check up on that. There's sometimes the little things that are on the fly that I need to check up on throughout the show. I'll go ahead and I'll check up on that, but we're going to keep going to at least 11 a.m. So do me the favor, guys, if you guys are enjoying this trading action or just want to go ahead and see how we trade today, do us a favor, guys. Smash the thumbs on up. We definitely appreciate that. That's how we keep everything live here for free and are not behind some, pay us, this amount for monthly just so you can see us trade. No, we want you guys to see the process that we're trying to take here. And like always, what you guys can do to support that is smash up those likes because that's what keeps us going here. So hit them up, guys. Hit those likes on up.
Nerve new highs again. This time it looks like 83 was your high print. They're not yanking this, which is making it more and more difficult to trade. I definitely am not going to chase it up here. This is a way to definitely get hurt. I would wait for this to pull back and kind of settle. We're very extended from the VWAP, $1.60 above the VWAP right now. VWAP 1120.
Drug trying to come back for that 3. Look for that 3 push. That's not a bad one to keep an eye out. Look at the Qs now catching up there. Look. Now it's starting to break down through the lows. Now you could probably see the follow through on Nvidia. Looking for that follow through that low here. So through that 50, we got 59.67. Now you're looking for that continued downside action there. And now you can start looking for SOXS to really take off. And you can look for SARK to really take off. Look at that. Look at that trade there. So SARK is still trying to catch up there. But that SQQQ trade probably looking well there too. And that SOXS trade. Boom. That was a nice pullback here when we went to the 42.90s. That's probably the level that I would have been looking for to get it in there. But you had to hold towards the low down here to 68. That was a little tough there. We'll see what happens now on SOXS as it's getting that nice lift.
Greg, now multiplying your gains up to 258 in a day. It's important to be able to walk away, right? If you're happy with those gains, if that's at your goal or above your daily goal, smart to just walk away. Don't give the gains back. It's actually one of the things that I've struggled with recently. I've traded a ticker, been like, I've got a really good feel for that. And on the second or third trade, even given back some of the profits that I have. Important to not do that. Good stuff. Nerve is scary here. You're finally getting that pullback here. We pulled off the 1283 high, currently at 1236. I'd actually like to see this pull more. I think there's some more space here in Nerve. Aaron, looking at your VTNR here, I like this setup here. I think what you're trying to do is get into the gap, right? So if we clear out this top of this candle here, which I have as 916, looks like we'd be into that gap. That gap actually doesn't fill the bottom of the candle till 1392. Realistically, I think 1250 though.
The battle's on, man. I'm just here watching this trade like none other. Well, this is going to determine my day. So if I do get a red day, it's going to be probably just on this one trade. And that's why a little part of me was like, man, the ticking time bomb should have already hit. In my normal trade, I normally have something called the ticking time bomb, where if a trade's not going in my direction and I'm looking for a momentum move and it's not happening, and there's a certain amount of time where you could just be like, well, yeah, I'm going to get out of this trade just because it's spending up my time capital, my opportunity cost to take another trade. I think today is definitely one of those cases where we'll find out if the opportunity cost was worth it. But right now, it's always going to feel like hindsight 2020, because I was looking at a lot of those SOXS trade, the tech trade, but didn't take it. Still in these oil trades here. We'll see what happens. And maybe it should have been the larger cap oil names that had been doing better and keeping more of a trend. But I went for a little bit of a high flyer today, and you can see it. It didn't really turn out for me just yet, but who knows what will happen. XOM, look at this huge push on up there, guys. That's why we were watching oil names to the beginning. And this is why I'm concerned about inflation. There's too many people thinking that inflation has peaked. And what does this show me? Watch out, guys. Watch out. You might want to go fill up your tank before these prices go back on up. I myself am going to go fill up the tank this week before I see next week oil prices. And then we're going right back through the roof. Oil prices starting to get up there, and OPEC Plus mentioning potential production cuts versus supply being added.
I would expect gas prices to increase for Labor Day as well, which is, of course, the Monday coming up.
Yeah, they're trying to make money, right? Ryan? So if you cut a little production, at least, or tell the narrative that what happens to the oil price? Boo! Right before a holiday? Why not, right? Oil companies, it might not be the best, let's say, environmental friendly or even trader friendly, but I'll tell you one thing. They love profits. Oil names love profits. We'll see what happens.
So do investors.
Yeah, that's why they go for him, right? I mean, that's why you're seeing Warren probably, I think he took his 50%. I think we're going to find out. I think he's supposed to give us 2 to 3 days, so we'll find out. But man, what a move if you were buying that Warren Buffett. I mean, you don't fight Buffett, man. You don't fight him. Ooh, even value getting shellacked today. That's interesting to see. Apple now going back into the red, kind of what I was looking for. And look at that fake out to the upside. This is where you got to be danger, stranger. You didn't take your profits at the high of the day there. If you were a bull, look how you got that flip put right on you. So if you didn't take that high of the day push and you don't take profits, that's how easy you can get hurt. That's why I like taking profits into the high day. Let's say if you were long this and you got off the VWAP, boom, the high of the day is 62.75. You go right to 62.83. That's why I like taking profits on moves like this. Because let's say if you were bullish and you were contrarian to what was out there right now, right? And you're looking for that upside move. When you get that push, I always like to try to take some highs, some profit near that high of the day, just in case this happens, where you get the trade to go all the way back to your break even, maybe even further than your break even, further than your risk. And if you don't take first profits, it's very hard to then look at this trade go up like that, go up, 0.63%, and then you just stop out break even on all of it because you didn't take profits. You were looking for that expansion. And in this type of market, you need to ask yourself sometimes, what am I looking for? Am I looking for the high of the day move, or am I looking for a continuation breakout? This is a clear example in this market that we've seen a lot more of the high of the day turnarounds than those breakout and continuation patterns.
Nerve up at 13 now. This is just a wild move here on Nerve. Dan, I wonder if you're in this. I know that you've got a pretty good read on Nerve from the sixes.
Nerve. Do you have the nerve?
I mean, this thing was on Thursday. This thing was 625 in the afternoon. You could have bought all you wanted at 625. Here we are at 1285. I do think we retraced some of this move, but wouldn't be surprised if we squeezed out some shorts here, especially on this move today. 13, your high print.
Not
Looks like
much
it's
going
trying to
on
take
there
that
for
out
me.
here.
Not much going on for me, guys.
And by the way, I'm not in nerve. I'm not playing this. I am watching this action. Market rolling over on the lows here.
Market
Nerve through
rolling
13,
over.
13.15, your high. Yanked it right back to 1280s. Just too fast for me. Not going to be able to make money on those pops. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that. I can, but I'd have to be lucky. I'm likely to get shaken. So just knowing myself, normally not trading stuff that's this wild. We're able to trade it earlier. Felt a little bit more predictable earlier. Up here, feel like we need a big yank, 1250 or even lower.
Really like this Houston chart, but I'm not going to take it because I'm in a very similar trade in INDO. Would have to see them both break out there, and then maybe I could catch up to HUSA. But I don't want to just double dip into one area and then get crushed. That's something that is one thing that I definitely try to avoid is double dipping, triple dipping in one area on a trade. Because if it goes against you, then all three of them are in the red, and that really can crush your day really quickly. Unless you separate the money and diversify the capital, I think it's a dangerous type of play. Nerve.
CMRX, big pop here. Wow.
Oh, I like that. That actually looks nice there.
Yeah, big volume.
You had your chance there, maybe 253s, but I mean, you got to risk off 245 really quickly. Nice little pattern up there. One, kind of two, and then you get the flag pattern here. Nice little flag action. Up one, up two, up three, down three, up three, up two, down two, up three. And then you get the support really closed in here, the 245 area. It's looking nice. Don't know the stock, but definitely a nice little pattern.
CMRX just had a PR here for a contract being awarded for Tembexa.
All right.
The smallpox treatment, it looks like.
I like the 5-minute chart on this. This is the 5 minutes. You can take a look on the 15-minute also.
Went right to that spot and pulled off of it.
Nerve up there to 13 today. What a move.
We brought it to you here.
All right, spy with my little eyes down there now to 402. SARK trying to hold the VWAP. That actually doesn't look too bad there. How'd that SOXS trade do you? Oh, up to 44.28. Not a bad one. Not a bad reversal there. Gush pulling on back. Maybe look for a VWAP cut down towards, let's say, the 189 area. Doesn't look too bad there for Gush. It is slowly just pulling on back here, some of these oil trades, so just be careful out there. All right, let me just check on something. I'll be right back, Ryan. I'll even leave my charts up.
Yeah, it's no problem. I'm actually watching drug right here.
Okay.
Looks like there's a spot here at 297. Be interesting to see if we end up taking this out here on drug. They're hitting it. I'm watching this, not in it though. Still, yeah. So it's stopping here at 297. I think if they take this, maybe it pops a little bit higher. Unsure how high this can actually go. There you go. Took 297, went up to 299. We'll see if they take 3 down now. Oh, I don't have drug up here. Sorry, I still have CMRX up here. Getting my biotech companies messed up. There's a pull there on drug. Man. Nasty action there on drug. Didn't take it. And by the way, we just to kind of refresh our discussion here on VWAP. We had a VWAP there of 297 on drug, went to 298, 299, and then rejected here. So other traders clearly playing the VWAP.
All right, traders.
Blueprints.
Just want to let you guys know we will be having some future action for you coming up at 11 a.m. And it looks like AB is going to be doing it, team. So come on over. It won't be Zunaid. It will be AB today. So if you want to find out about some futures action, you guys can catch it right here on Benzinga. You don't got to go anywhere. Or maybe you just want to take a look. Should I be trading futures? Or could I? Could it help me? Come find out what it can do for you. That's up next. Mitch should be advising the Fed. Tom,
at this point, I'd take it, Mitch.
I'll pass on that option, but the only thing that I would tell them is that maybe let's not play the extreme game. But that's just what I've seen in the past. If there's one thing I've seen that the Fed does is that it plays extreme to both ends, and it works its way towards that extreme. When we were in the pandemic, it was supportive prices, right? Pumping as much those bills out as we could. And it was supportive as can be. Why would we not get as restrictive as can be with inflation where it's at now? That's where I'm going to. That's why I still think we have some downside in this market. And it's not because of, let's say, the economy is just atrocious. It's also because of the fact that the Fed likes to play extremes. And until inflation really comes back down, I think they'll still be hawkish. And so what is inflation really coming back down for me is, let's say if we could even get back to like 5 or 4%. But here at 8.7 or 8% on CPI, oh, it's not going away anytime soon. All right, the battle's on there. SPY trying to hold on for dear life. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, I'm starting to get that flush here. Got to be really careful for INDO there. There was some orders getting filled there in the 90s. There's a 94 here, EDX, that I'm looking for it to come back through. But if we cut through 975s here, we're just going to have to get out, take the loss, and get on out. Hasn't been trying to come back here, at least. There's the 94s coming into play there. And you saw it kind of come back there. So it took his sizing up there in the 94s. Now we just need to see a recovery. Look at the spread now. 78 by 98. Really wide. This is where it becomes a little bit dangerous, right? Because the spread itself is starting to affect it. So we really needed to get back up through 10. Because if not, the washout could easily happen. And it could be a hard washout. So that's why you always got to be careful with a stock like INDO. Man, that spreading out there is spread as wide as it's been this whole time.
TAL looks like it's trying to take out that 666 mark we talked about earlier. Last time they were here, they yanked it pretty good, almost down to the VWAP there at 640. So it looks like we're trying to take this out. We'll see if we end up getting it. Jesse, I'm glad you like AB's intro. AB is actually a hilarious guy in real life. I love the guy. He makes me laugh every time that I see him. Couldn't be nicer, despite being a Cardinals fan.
Oh,
he's a St. Louis Cardinal baseball fan. I'm a Cubs fan. Have to take shots when I get them, Mitch. I mean, that's just how it goes. Yeah. He would do the same thing. His team's actually in pretty good shape.
I mean, the Cardinals are always good, I feel like. That's just in my lifetime, I probably guess.
Well, when you have Arenado and Goldschmidt, it's going to be hard to be terrible.
I mean, I think Goldschmidt was a product of St. Louis, but they traded for Arenado, so.
Yeah, well, they traded for Goldschmidt too. He used to be amazing when he was with the Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks, that's where he was. Yeah. There you go. Appreciate that one.
Hey, man, I've been a Paul Goldschmidt fan since he got here.
Honestly, that's a name that gets underappreciated in the major leagues.
Tom mentioning here that Nerve is a terrible short, only 5 million shares. Tom, I could not agree with you more. And I think that that's actually one of the reasons why we're seeing this move here.
SPY heading down here, guys. Be careful. Just want to call that out. It is heading towards the low.
It is on the lows, SPY.
Yeah.
With Nerve, though, again, as we just discussed, this stock was $6.25 last week. And here we are, above 13. So imagine being short this name. I mean, that's real tough. And if you get any type of cover action there, or squeeze action, this thing can really go higher. I agree with you, Tom. I don't like a nerve short here at all.
Such a battle. And this Indo is just cutting me up between the bid and the ask. It's just
CMRX new highs here.
Keeping me in for right now, but it's trouble.
CMRX new highs here, guys. It's a good trade, Becca. You were all over this early today. Early.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. Nice pattern too. I love stocks that can keep patterns. Let's just be honest. Those are the ones that I love. That's a really nice trade there. All right, here's that washout on Indo. Got to be careful here. Doesn't want to recover here. It's going to be the second day in a row that I probably lose on Indo. This has not been a good name for me. I always try to trade it. I don't know why. It catches me all the time. Hands on the trigger here to get out. We can't recover 980s.
CMRX going for new highs here. 268 is your high spot right here. I'm not playing it, by the way.
Such a battle here. Probably should have came out of this name and looked for the re-entry above 10. That probably would have been the better way to kind of execute on this name. Seeing people buy up there, it's kind of keeping me in it. It's hard here because it's definitely right off the risk and return. But then the spread goes up and it looks like there's some buyers stepping in there. Definitely a battle for me. This is going to be my green or red day here.
Proud to be. I'll say this. I don't think you're safe with anything in particular. You always want to be actively managing your risk. Pharma companies, biotech companies.
Those are the most dangerous.
Yeah, biotech companies can be all over the place, especially if they're pre-revenue. And I mean, even so, they're headline driven by a lot of the drugs that they have and then what's going on. So I don't think any of them are safe. You're going to have to figure out how to define your risk and how to properly allocate your risk to the right instruments.
Out there, guys. Way too long. Got hit hard. Indo today. It happens. Got out there, guys. Got to get out. It's just battling that 970 way too much there. Got out there. Hard loss there for me. A little bit further than what I normally would take, but I pushed it on that one stock.
But you were working off profits, right, Mitch? That's important to remember.
Hey, it is what it is. You can't stress too much there. First day, gonna get into the red. Is what it is. I was looking at nicer plays with the SOXS and stuff like that, and it drew my eyes a little bit to get stuck on a name like this because it's just such a fast mover. It draws my attention a little bit too much. That's why I like trying to take slower trades. You guys see me often take the slower trades on like a SOXS or a SARK that is a lower share size that I can really kind of work and look at other trades at the same time. This was one of those days more when I take a little bit more of sizing into a quick play and focus on that play. And you guys could see it. I just got caught focusing on Indo and it didn't do anything. It really didn't do anything. It just came down to support and it could eventually come back up. But that's why we want to be looking for stocks that actually have that momentum to keep going. I looked at more on a daily setup and got caught in the name. And today, paying the price. Sometimes you are going to pay the price. And today is one of those days where I get in the red with Indo.
Sometimes you're the windshield. Sometimes you're the bug.
That's how it is sometimes. And I feel like I called the market to a pretty good key there, a tech bounce back and then to flush right back down. So I could have been playing it to that term. And I think that would have been probably the better way to play it today. Nvidia coming back down there. would have been the better way to play it for sure. AMD coming back down there, Apple coming back below into the red, similar plays there. Those would have been a little bit better of a play there. SARK also gave us the opportunity. We talked about the 56 there, the levels when he went through. Did nice to make a pullback here to 56.06. They didn't completely get to 56 there, but pushing right back up there also on that play. So not a bad play in SOXS and SARK. Just wasn't able to follow those. And XOM, big push on up there. If we were able to catch that one, we would have made a nice leap up, and it happens sometimes.
All right, Mitch, I'm going to get rolling here. Good first date of the week. Should be an interesting week. So we'll be back at this tomorrow, my friend.
Yep, we'll be back at this tomorrow. And up next, you guys got some futures action with AB coming on up. So like always, guys, don't go anywhere. We got a lot more for you. Don't leave. Don't hit anything. We're going to get you guys over to some futures action. Come find out how AB would trade some futures. I'd be interested to find on out. Futures are a little bit difficult, and it's even difficult for myself to kind of look into that market. So come take a look at it and see what you guys think. Maybe you guys learned something new. We'll see what happens. Future trading with Ninja Trading coming on next. Let me actually use. We'll hit the outro here. Let's go. I'll see you guys on over.